All right, so I don't think Raj actually got an introduction. Man, I knew this guy, I think in 2018. Sorry, I'm going to put him on the spot. This guy, Tesla Raj, man, I remember you should check out his earliest videos. Go to teslaraj.com, check out those early videos. And I was like, oh man, this guy's a savage. But Tesla Raj does so much for the community. It's informative, educational, and I just want to thank him. He's on our board, but he does so much for the community, and so thank you. Come on up, man. Not that you need an intro, but you're doing an intro for someone else. But I just wanted to kind of make you blush a little bit. So thank you again for all you do, man.
Thanks, John. Thank you so much. Hold on. Okay. How's everyone doing? We haven't lost you yet, right? No? We're a little slow. We ate? No? Okay. All right. So we've got a treat here. Next on the stage is somebody who's a huge resource to the Tesla community, like really big. So much so that his ability to educate and promote Tesla actually helped Tesla sell over 1,400 vehicles. That's right. This next person holds the record for the most Tesla referrals in the world. He is a highly creditable source for Tesla content on his YouTube and his countless educational and informative videos. Please welcome Andy Slye.
Hello, thank you, Raj. Appreciate that. It was the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. So
I'm sure there's been
I have
plenty.
2 mics. Sweet.
Here, give me one of those. Awesome. Welcome,
Cool.
Andy.
Thanks for having me, John. Thanks, John, and everybody. Thank you guys for having this. This is my first, the biggest Tesla event I've ever been at. So it's good to see all the faces out there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
the biggest. So welcome, everyone. So Andy, I wanted to have this conversation with you about Tesla progress, past, present, and future. And the reason for that is, I think, 4 years ago, you decided to make a change in your vehicles, in the vehicle that you own, right? And so you did something, you went somewhere, you bought something. What did you buy 4 years ago?
I bought a Tesla Model 3. It was 6 years ago when I made the reservation. So,
All right.
yeah, and I drove to Cincinnati, stood in line. Anybody else, day one reservation holders for Model 3? A couple people? Cool. Yeah, so it was 2 years of waiting. Got the Model 3 in 2018, and that's when I started doing YouTube videos about it.
And why did you decide to buy the Tesla Model 3?
First of all, I got the bug from MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee. I watched his Tesla Model S videos, as I'm sure most of you probably have seen, back in 2012, and I just immediately fell in love with the car. And I was like, okay, my next car is going to be a Tesla, but I knew I couldn't afford the Model S, so I was like, gotta wait for the Model 3. And but I knew day one before I even see the car, that's going to be my next car. And I mainly wanted it for the technology. But also because of the gas savings. I drive so much. I had a long commute, and I was tired of spending money on gas, to be honest. And I wanted the most technological advanced car, and Tesla was that, and still is that.
Yeah. So now you waited the long 2 years, got the vehicle. If you could think back, what were your initial thoughts on it? What did you love about what you got on your Model 3 that you'd never seen before?
I think, well, first of all, it was autopilot. I never had an ADAS before that. And then going from a Pontiac G6 to a Tesla Model 3 is like night and day. And just having autopilot on my commute has just made it so much better. That was the first thing, as far as once I started driving the car, I was like, okay, this is the biggest advantage. Of course, not stopping at gas stations ever was amazing. Charging at home. And then just the interior, I'm a big fan of the minimalist interior. That was something that I'd never seen on a car before. Even in the Model S. The Model S is obviously just a more premium interior, but the Model 3's interior really spoke to me. I love the minimalist, nothing except the touchscreen. I guess I'm a typical millennial, but I'm a big fan of touchscreens and software because they're dynamic and they can get better over time. And you've seen it. I mean, we can talk about it some more, but the Model Y is the best-selling car right now, and it's same interior as the 4 or 5-year-old Model 3. So
Right. So along with those wins and things that you loved about the Model 3, if you can kind of think back, and you still drive this Model 3, it's still your daily driver.
absolutely, yes.
Okay. So what were some of the challenges that you saw over this time frame of having your vehicle up until now that you've seen with the Model 3? or especially like what you saw early on. Some of those might have been solved with software, and some of them may still be lingering to be solved. But what were some of the challenges that you saw with the 3 specifically?
Uh, Probably I was really scared that it was the first iteration. The first iteration, a lot, everybody tells you not to get the first iteration of any new tech product. And it was just like that going in, like the fear of like, oh my God, is this going to like die 20,000 miles in, That was probably just the fear mostly. It's nothing really even bad about the car or like my problems or challenges with the car itself. It's really just the fear that was like looming in my mind. But once I got to drive it and spend years with it, and I have over 100,000 miles on it right now, and it's just like there's really nothing that stands in my way of like loving this car.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree because I'm still on my Model 3, and I think we're fairly close in when we got ours around mid 2018. Yep. So, let's fast forward now, right? You've had the Model 3 for a while. Recently, Andy, congratulations. You've expanded your family. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
And you decided to return back to where this journey started and make another purchase. Can you tell me about that? What did you just recently pick up?
Bought a lot of baby clothes and a crib. No. So actually, my wife has been needing a new car for years, and I've just been like the worst husband ever. I'm like, just wait a little bit. You can get by with it. She was actually driving my old Pontiac. Poor girl. Sorry to my wife. And we spent like the last 2 years looking for a car, and we actually test drove one of those cars back there. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's the Kia EV6, and we test drove it. I think it was about like, I don't know, earlier this year. Great car, lovely car. But with the dealer markups, it was basically the same price as a Model Y. And we had actually had a Model Y on reservation since last October. And we reserved it just because like we weren't for sure we were going to get it. But we're like, let's just reserve it because you never know. You want to lock in that price. Well, luckily we did because the price has gone up by so much since then. So we test drove the Kia EV6. Loved it. Or not, I don't want to say loved it. Liked it a lot. But not at the same price as the Model Y. So we eventually decided, hey, let's just go ahead and splurge and get the Model Y. We knew the Model Y is going to be a great family car for a long time, and we just picked it up about 2 months ago, and my wife absolutely loves it.
So looking at it, what was the biggest reason that you came back to Tesla and specifically bought the Y?
It came down to like safety, honestly. Like I'm sure the Kia EV6 and new EVs are safe. I mean, I know the Hyundai Ioniq 5. We're looking at that, and I know that it won some safety awards, or some of those EVs. I can't remember which one, but I honestly just came down to like safety, and I wanted to have the safest car for my family because like once I had my daughter, I was just like, okay, it completely changes your outlook, and like I need her and my wife to be completely safe at all times when I'm not with them. And we loved the Model 3 experience so much, and we knew that what we were getting into with the Model Y, because it's essentially a bigger Model 3. And it's just having that like familiarity, really. Safety and familiarity is what it came down to, and that's why we chose the Model Y.
Yeah, so now, looking at, you had the 3, you still have the 3, and now you're an all EV household, right? So congrats on that.
Still got the Pontiac for backup purposes in case we need to get a service call for like.
Well, I think that's the one thing that I highly respect about Andy is that you don't really like throw things away. Like you have a high appreciation for money and the things that you own. So
I'm cheap. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Yeah.
not at all, not at all. You got 2 Teslas.
I am cheap.
So now from the 3 to the Y, now you directly can see the comparisons. And so we talked about challenges and we talked about things that you really loved about the 3. Now, having both of them in hand, an early 3, a current Y, what have you seen vastly improve that, gives Y the upper hand? Or what have you seen that Tesla's really kind of focused on and given the advantage and like the advantages to the Y over the 3, like how far they've grown and where it's come?
I think like just like the small minor details coming from the Model 3, the 2018 Model 3, like the Model Y has, of course, like the newer interior, which feels just more solid. The way things like, I don't know, the center console, the way they close, and the Model 3 interior is great, but like the center console is a little finicky. But I love that Tesla has made these small little improvements over time over the past 4 years, and really like when you come from a 2018 Model 3 going to the 2022 Model Y, there's not that much that has changed, which is actually a good thing. I mean, when I get into the Model Y, it's essentially the same as my Model 3, and that's a good thing. I like that because I think that Tesla did a great job at, like I said, designing the interior. It's they can keep that interior for years to come. I think. I don't foresee them changing that for a while. I mean, if they can get by with selling that, and plus they've had the high demand for Model Y, so if they can just keep raising prices and keep selling the Model Y with this interior, I think they can
minor updates and minor changes.
Yeah, and it's honestly like it's not that much different, but it just the Model Y is just a different feeling vehicle as far as driving it. But overall, it's been really nice to see the little minor details that Tesla has done with mostly the interior of the car.
Now, you've made a lot of videos, a lot of Tesla videos. You've also covered other EVs. You talked about the EV6, the Lightning, the Rivian. Would you say that the Model Y is the best EV out there today?
Yes, with an asterisk. I've said that when I first drove the Model Y back in like 2020, I was like, this is the best EV for the average person. It's the best all-around EV. I still believe that. The price is really what's getting me to get that asterisk there because it's just so expensive right now. Tesla's been in Tesla's business. They need to raise prices and increase profit. That's fine, but it's just like, man, the Model Y right now. I think like the long range Model Y is like, what is it? 65? 65.9, yeah, and with taxes, that's a $70,000 car. So it's like, you got all these really good EVs coming to the market, and it's hard for me to say that the Model Y is the best because I haven't driven all the other EVs. But it is like still like one of the top all-around cars in general you can buy right now, I believe.
If we were to change the timing, and today you still were driving the 3, and today you needed a new car.
Not gonna do that. You're doing this to me, Art.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. That's what we're here to hear, right? Okay, and you needed to buy one today. Would you buy the Y at the current price? If you're not going to answer,
is my wife watching this? I don't know if I would. I mean, it's so hard to tell. Like, I don't know. It's a $10,000 price. Like, it's $10,000 more than when I bought it. So it's hard. Right. I don't know. I don't know if I would. Just with like the new EV tax credit coming out, like obviously it's already compatible, like eligible for the EV6 and the Ioniq 5. But it's not really my call though because the Model Y is my wife's car at the end of the day, and she wanted the Model Y. Like she legit was like, I want the Model Y. Like so, I really do. I probably would go with the Model Y.
She's a little bit more understanding than mine that is asking for the X. So I'm gonna need help on that one.
Yeah, I mean at that point just get a Model Y.
Yeah, exactly. And so like that looks at the past, right? You had the 3, you had it all the way up, and you still own it. Now you've gotten the Y. This is the present. This is where the Y is today. We talked about advantages of the Y, it almost being essentially a perfect vehicle outside of the price, which presents the challenges. And now let's look towards the future, right? Andy, you've been amazing in the community as far as talking and helping sell vehicles, so much so that Tesla was nice enough to reward you for your hard work on selling the vehicles and preaching Tesla, and you won 2 Tesla Roadsters.
Allegedly.
Yes, they're not in your hand yet. They're on a screen, but apparently you're going to get them. And as we look towards the future, of course, the Roadster is the cherry on top. What do you see as what the Roadster has and that you're excited for?
Like the other day, I think I was. Is anybody familiar with Ryan McCaffrey? Ride the Lightning podcast. Anybody listen to that?
Yeah.
Ryan's a good buddy of mine. Yeah, and he tweeted something about like the range on the Roadster that I totally forget about the range. When I think about the Roadster, I'm like, man, it's gonna be so cool and so fast. But then I think like it's gonna be like over 600 miles of range, and with the seat in the back. Now that I have, a family, like I legit like am excited to go like on road trips and just driving like 600 miles without charging. I mean, obviously it's not going to be nonstop, but still like the range is going to be like that's something that I always forget about. That's really exciting for me. And I'm actually weird. Like I don't want the SpaceX package.
You don't want to fly?
I don't want to fly. I'm scared of flying, actually. I don't like flying, and I'd rather have a back seat. I'd rather have a back seat for my daughter, and
True.
so yeah, I'd rather have the range instead of the SpaceX package.
Fair, fair. So it's like looking towards the future is right. Today we've got great range with the EVs. I think Tesla's range is pretty phenomenal. But to think that the future, what does the future hold? It holds range up to like 600 miles is insane, right? Really putting EVs on par with gas cars.
Yeah, and obviously the main argument is like you don't need 600 miles of range on a car. That's a misconception, and with ICE owners, you're like,
Right.
it's technically more important to have more charging stations.
Yep.
With a 300-mile EV with a lot of charging stations, you're not going to have a problem. I've never had a problem in 4+ years with my Model 3. But just having that range in case something happens, like you drive somewhere remote, you don't have somewhere to charge, just having that extra peace of mind, everybody knows it's always good to have instead of not to
Right.
have. So that's just something like, I know charging stations are important, but also I still think, range is king. Range is still very important.
Yeah. So
What's that? I was really heavily considering reserving one of those. My wife kind of wouldn't let me there, but yeah, like seriously, that's probably the best commuter car, the Solar Aptera, which I mean, the safety is what concerns me on that. I don't know how safe that thing is. If I get hit by another car, like what's going to happen to me? But
Yeah.
a solar power, like that's amazing. 1,000 miles on a 1,000-mile range.
right. And I mean, as we look towards like this, the future of Tesla, obviously the Roadster is a unique beast. Not everyone's going to be driving around the Roadster. So let's take a step back and, outside of features, what do you see as Tesla's next kind of journey as they look forward into vehicle lines? Like I think Elon's talked about, robotaxi, van. Where do you see that going, and what would be probably the best step forward for Tesla in the future?
I think it was Master Plan Part D, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Where Elon said, like, they're obviously going to try to electrify all parts of transport. So obviously they're coming out with the semi. You got the van, supposedly the van coming. So I think eventually it makes sense for Tesla to just make all types of vehicles. The van thing is interesting because deliveries. I would like to see like at least some competition with Amazon. With the delivery trucks. So because deliveries are becoming just more and more important, and everybody's just ordering stuff. So that's one thing for and also like the post office. I see all these
absolutely.
post office vehicles. I'm like, why are they not electric or at
The
least
Oshkosh
hybrid?
Bagosh ones.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like a thing so I think Tesla can just play a huge part in just getting all the different types of vehicles electrified.
Fleet vehicles, police cars.
Yeah, school buses. I mean,
Yep.
the biggest thing is can we have an electric airplane at some point? I don't know.
What's the next consumer one that you would like to see? But put aside what Elon has said and what Tesla has promised. What would you like to see next? We've got a big van. We've got a big SUV, a smaller SUV, a compact sedan, a big sedan.
Yeah, probably I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say the Cybertruck is really the only thing I could think of to come to mind.
Truck.
They have to get that thing out because that is trucks are just hugely important and hugely popular here. So I know that they're already coming out with it, but I mean I think they need to just focus on that more than anything.
Would you get a Cybertruck?
I mean, I have one I have a reservation just like everybody else in the world because $100 refundable. Who else has a reservation for a Cybertruck? Everybody.
Yes.
Who's going to actually buy one? Oh,
Yeah.
you say that now. Okay. You got 10 of them? It's almost, Ryan from Kilowatts has 50 or something.
Yeah, the fleet.
I have one. I mean, my wife's not going to let me get it, but I told her, I was like, screw the Model Y. The Cybertruck is the best family vehicle.
Yes, that's what we're aiming for, and my wife just accepted that this will be our family vehicle.
So the Model X is out of the picture. Cybertruck.
It is. She said, we'll just wait for the Cybertruck. You'll sell your 3, you get a Cybertruck.
There you
but
go.
She absolutely hates the look of it. But
My-
she accepted it, so it's like.
Like, does anybody actually like it?
I think it looks kind of bad.
Like, do you love it or do you? I know I love it. Like the DeLorean is obviously like stainless steel, and Cybertruck is very just. We were there. Were you there? We were there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the first time I met you. We were there at the Cybertruck unveiling, and when they drove that thing out, the gas and like the room just got so quiet. Like, is this real? Are they? Is this? This isn't the real truck. They're gonna come out with another one. Like that. Legit, the whole crowd thought that for the first 5 minutes. I was up on stage like, this is not right. So obviously, it's different, but like you said, it's just like different. But once you get used to it, I mean, it's been around for what, 2.5 years,
Yeah.
almost 3 years now. So like people have gotten used to it. Like we've accepted it, and we're like, okay, this thing is awesome. Like if you get past the looks of it, it's amazing.
I mean, didn't you see the pictures of it in New York? I mean, it looks
Oh my God,
awesome.
yeah. I mean, I am going to be mad the first time I pull up to a supercharger and it's like taking up 2 spots. I know that's going to happen. One of you are going to do it. It's going to take up 2 spots. But yeah, hopefully the superchargers fit the Cybertruck. That's the only thing I've worried about that because Cybertrucks are huge.
Yeah. So, looking at all of that, what would you still feel that Tesla can, or would you like to see them do, like improve on?
Lower prices. I know that they've obviously everybody's been affected. All prices have gone up for everything. But like Elon had mentioned it recently. I think hopefully prices will go down eventually. But it's hard for me to see that happening. But it's just I want Tesla to truly be an affordable car for most people, and it's hard. A lot of people don't consider $50,000 an affordable car. So we'll see what. Hopefully the $25,000 or the $25,000 little compact sedan hatchback thing. Hopefully that comes. Like that would be awesome. But that's gonna be a very 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 bare bones Tesla. So. But hey, at least they can say they came out with a $25,000 car.
Yeah, absolutely. If it could be affordable, it's the best option for new EV adopters.
Yeah,
sure.
affordability is huge. I think
Yeah.
for getting the masses.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andy. Thank you for all that you do. If you haven't checked out Andy's YouTube channel, please check it out. Lots of informative information. And thanks for being here.
Thanks, Raj. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.